The story follows a samurai dressed in a hat, making his way through the snow. He walks into a small cafe and takes a seat. The cafe's chef, Ringo, despite having no hands, is known for making amazing noodles. The samurai places his order, and as he's waiting, we see a trader sitting there too. This trader has brought 2 girls from another city and plans to sell them elsewhere after feeding them. The samurai gets his noodles and absolutely loves them. He tells Ringo to bring him another bowl. But Ringo accidentally drops it, and the trader, furious, pulls out a gun, ready to shoot Ringo. Just as things are about to go south, the samurai steps in. He tells the trader, "Who are you to kill him? That gun of yours is pretty nice, but it's old. Front-loaded. I even know what's engraved on it." The samurai knows everything about the weapon. The trader is shocked and says, "Who are you? What can you do?" The samurai calmly replies, "I don't care about you or your gun. What matters is who made it." The trader then starts talking about Shindo Dojo, saying the samurai isn't worthy of knowing about it. The samurai smirks and says, "I'll get there easily." That's when the fight begins. The samurai demands the address of Shindo Dojo, but when the trader refuses to talk, the samurai cuts off one of his fingers. The trader starts rambling and by accident looks into the samurai's eyes. The samurai wears glasses to hide his eyes, and here's why: his eyes are blue. He's not fully Japanese. He's half Japanese and half English, which enrages the trader even more. Basically, the story is set in the year 1633. Before then, traders from all over used to come to Japan for business. But after 1633, a new rule was enforced that changed everything for the people. Many foreign traders were kicked out of Japan, and from then on, outsiders, especially the English, weren't welcome anymore. But the biggest issue came from the children born between foreigners and Japanese locals. No one saw them as pure. People called them illegitimate, dirty blood. Furious, the samurai chops off another finger, and finally the trader spills the address. "Go to Shindo and you'll learn everything." Shindo is a martial arts dojo where the Japanese train in karate. After seeing the samurai's skill, Ringo is amazed. He quits his job on the spot, packs up his stuff, and starts following the samurai. The samurai's name? Mizu. Mizu warns him, "Don't follow me. I'm going far and you don't belong with me." But Ringo begs, "I may not have hands, but I need a master like you. No one's ever stood up to that trader before, and I just want to learn. I can carry your stuff if nothing else. Please let me come with you." But Mizu, driven only by revenge, doesn't need Ringo. He ties Ringo to a tree to show his strength, then heads to a nearby house where he offers prayers and burns incense. Mizu takes a moment to acknowledge his master, Eiji. He tells him, "You've always supported me, and I need you to keep doing so as I head to Shindo Dojo. I'm looking for someone named Heiji Shindo." This dojo is where all the martial arts are taught. The scene then shifts back to the past, showing young Mizu running away from a group of kids who are bullying him. They shout cruel things, saying, "Your mother left you and your father killed her. You don't belong here." Mizu can't block out their taunts, and his mask slips off, revealing his eyes. The other kids seem ready to attack when suddenly, a blind man appears and a large stone falls from the sky. The children are terrified, as is Mizu. But soon he sees that the man is trying to pick up the stone. Mizu rushes to help him, and they discover that the stone is made from a unique metal. The old man, a master swordsmith, plans to forge a sword from this strange material. He expresses excitement, saying he's never seen anything like it before. Although Mizu has no real home and pretends to leave, the master knows he hasn't gone far. The next morning, the master wishes for hot tea and comments on how nice it would be to have someone to share his home with. He decides to let Mizu stay. Fast forward to the present. Mizu is on his way to Shindo Dojo, but to enter he needs a pass. Travelers need a traveler's pass, and citizens must show a citizen's pass. Since Mizu isn't from the area, he bribes the guards with gold coins to gain entry. As he moves through the dojo, he spots the city's princess, Akemi. The scene shifts to her story. Akemi has a caretaker named Seiki, who advises her not to be angry with her father and to talk to him calmly. Akemi goes to her father, the wealthy king, who has a high reputation in the city. He informs her that he's chosen a husband for her. Akemi refuses, saying she doesn't want to marry an old fat man who mistreats women. She points out that she's never even left the palace and argues with her father about the unfairness of his choice. The king, despite having a young son, seems to overlook his daughter's feelings. He believes he's making a good alliance for her. But Akemi cleverly explains that she wants someone like her father, young, hardworking, and strong. She skillfully convinces her father that she deserves better. The king then reveals that Seiki has found a match who has fought in 24 battles, a good samurai from a fishing family. Akemi realizes this is just a trick, as she already has feelings for someone else. Later, we learn that Akemi plans to meet the boy she loves, a samurai named Taigen. He comes from a poor family and can only afford a small candy for her, while Akemi gifts him a gold hair clip. The scene shifts back to Mizu, who is asking for permission to enter the dojo but is denied. He insists that he needs to speak to the master and has an important message just for him. Finally, the doors are opened, revealing many students practicing. The master says, "Tell me your message, I'll pass it on to Heiji Shindo." But Mizu replies, "If I speak, it will only be to him." The master, exasperated, tells him he's crazy to think Heiji Shindo meets anyone. Just as Mizu is about to be thrown out, he declares, "Have you forgotten your tradition? When a hungry person comes, you don't send them away without feeding them." Mizu had learned a lot while staying with the master. One day, he created a small knife. The master praised his effort, saying, "You've done well for your age, but until you make 100 of these, you won't be able to forge a sword." Every sword he creates bears a mark. Mizu worked hard and eventually made 100 knives, marking each one. The master dreamed of breaking that shiny metal to forge a sword one day. He often told Mizu, "You will make a sword from that metal." One night, while practicing, the master caught Mizu trying to steal a sword. Mizu insisted, "I want to learn how to wield a sword. I want to become a samurai and take my revenge. You don't understand who I am, you can't see my struggles." The master replied, "It doesn't matter who you are. I don't care about your weaknesses. Stealing swords won't make you strong. To seek revenge, you must first become powerful." The backstory of Mizu reveals that when all trade in Japan was shut down, powerful foreign warriors remained, dominating the land. They had committed terrible acts against the Japanese people, including taking Mizu's mother away. Mizu was born from this tragic event, but the foreign warriors paid no attention to him or his mother. Now Mizu seeks revenge against these 4 men and is determined to kill them. The scene shifts to the present, where Mizu visits his master to convey an important message, and he needs to learn about Heiji Shindo's whereabouts. After this, Mizu challenges the students, showcasing his strength with just a wooden sword. He easily defeats many of them, even overpowering the master. Taigen, a student at the dojo, steps forward to confront Mizu. Initially, Taigen doesn't recognize him, but he soon realizes who Mizu is and demands to know why he's causing trouble. Mizu insists that he's searching for Heiji Shindo, and this prompts Taigen to challenge him to a fight. An intense battle ensues between Mizu and Taigen. Both fighters exchange blows, and though Mizu initially suffers a cut, he quickly shifts into high gear and defeats Taigen within minutes. In a surprising twist, Taigen is revealed to be the same boy who bullied Mizu during his childhood. Taigen, in disbelief, asks, "Are you the same kid from back then?" Mizu, unfazed, responds that Taigen hasn't even begun to fight seriously. Meanwhile, the master watches in worry, confused about this powerful samurai defeating so many students. When Taigen angrily calls Mizu a traitor, Mizu retaliates by cutting off Taigen's hair, a significant act of disrespect for a samurai, as hair symbolizes honor in Japanese culture. This act infuriates Taigen. Having gotten the information he needed, Mizu departs, shifting the scene back to Akemi, who is happy that her father has agreed to Taigen's potential marriage proposal. However, Taigen is still reeling from his defeat and the loss of his hair. Next, we see Heiji Shindo discussing the day's events with the master of Shindo Dojo. Heiji informs him that a formidable samurai came and nearly harmed a student. Meanwhile, the traitor who escaped Mizu's wrath claims that he isn't human but a monster, worrying they won't be able to hide him for long. Heiji responds confidently, saying, "No one can touch him." The master suggests sending their 4 strongest warriors to eliminate Mizu quickly, and Heiji agrees to dispatch his most dangerous warriors to hunt him down. The scene shifts back to the past when Mizu is preparing to say goodbye to his master. Before leaving, he wants to confess the truth about his journey, but the master interrupts, saying, "When you first met me, you were a fool and you're still a fool now. I don't need to know your truth, just take care of yourself. If you need a sword, take one from me." Mizu confidently replies, "I don't need a sword. I've already made one." Through the guidance of his master, Mizu has crafted a sword from the same unique material, demonstrating his skill and potential to become a great samurai. The scene cuts back to the four warriors, who are still searching for Mizu. After a series of encounters, Mizu finds himself injured and takes refuge in a cold stream to heal. Just as he hears someone approaching, with this twist, the first episode comes to a close, leaving viewers in suspense for the next installment. Let's meet again in the second episode.